What's up my goofy goobers? Welcome as we return back to some more mods, this time going back to the old Jam Byte mod to try out something that should have been tried out ages ago. Considering I did one for all the original towers already, it only makes sense to see how insane hypersonic modded towers would look and feel since these towers are 1,000 times more powerful. So here I present to you Hypersonic Towers, Modded Edition. Now one thing I have to mention is that Ninja Kiwi fixed the village call to arms stacking in the previous update months ago, so you might be thinking how will I be able to pull it off if it doesn't exist anymore? And that's a good question. Originally I was just thinking about spamming the monkey boost to simulate the effect since in this mod it's been set to have 0 cooldown. But it doesn't really feel the same, so I went a little bit out of my way to bring back the old village. Turns out all you have to do is remove one line of code and there you go, village stacking is back baby. So let's begin the show with our first batch of modded towers, starting off with the banger elemental tower. I'm not sure how many of these towers I'll be able to showcase within my scheduled time slot, but we'll see how far we can get by the end. Alright, here's the 00 Hypersonic Elemental Tower in action. Those hyperclumped ceramics don't stand a chance because remember, along with double the attack speed the projectiles also get double the popping power, and any number times 2 to the exponent 6 will end up being a pretty big amount. However it ain't strong enough to take down MODDED, so let's amp up the intensity by chucking in some more call to arms. Note that the range of the villages and the duration and cooldown of the ability has been modified to make things easier for both me and the viewer. Everything else in this mod has been left perfectly intact. Anyways, I really have to be careful on limiting how many times I stack the ability because these modded towers are notorious for being massive lag machines, so for the rest of these upgrades I'm going to cap the amount of village ability stacks at 6. Which should be good enough to get the message across. So enough of the 00, let's step it up a notch with the upgrade that splits the fire projectiles into 3 fireballs. This should be interesting. And damn right it is. How freaking sick does that look guys? The now infinite range of the flamethrower makes it look like an unstoppable column of fire. Not quite unstoppable as you can see though, lol, and yet even at 6 stacks the lag is already pretty noticeable. I guess we're in for a long day folks. So next up is even more projectile duplication. Now every projectile is multiplied by 3 with a second tier right side upgrade. Visually speaking you can't deny it just keeps getting better, but no slouching on the gameplay side either. That's looking a lot more like the unstoppable columns of fire I labeled it earlier. Slightly off topic, but one thing I just noticed while testing this shit out is that the ZOMG damage visuals have been goofed up. If you look carefully you'll see it transitions into the band aid layer at half HP but at the final stage it looks like he patched himself up a bit. Pretty sure that ain't intended unless they deliberately wanted to confuse the shit out of everyone. Alright. On to bigger and better upgrades. Doubling the number of projectiles again, we can see that the awesomeness factor doubles as well as the amount of tears coming out from my toaster. Poor lad really takes a beating when playing these mods, eats up 40+% of its CPU. Everyone like on this video means +1 prayer for the longevity of my toaster, and +1% closer to replacing it. Okay, so the Ring of Fire Elemental Tower should be an interesting one, and damn right it is. Now it seems the tables have turned and the ice balls are the ones with infinite range instead of the flamethrower. You can really see how strong that freezing effect is, and the mass lightning to clean up the remaining balloons. Alrighty, so this is pretty much the final hypersonic upgrade to show for the Elemental Tower. Seeing as most abilities are not affected by the increased attack speed, and I think this one wins the award for coolest looking upgrade just based on the sheer amount of volume these projectiles are cluttering the screen with. You got triple fire columns, triple ice columns, triple whirlwinds, triple spiked balls and triple blades to top it all off. So yeah, I probably should have saved the best for last because I doubt any of the following towers will match up to the elemental tower, but hey, now that I've grabbed your attention you better be inclined to stay. The next tower on the list is this guy. I believe it's simply called the Flamethrower Tower because that's exactly what it does, shoot out flames. At base upgrade the Hypersonic Flamethrower seems to do fine versus balloons, but just watch this MOAB as it carries on through the fire and the flames. Makes perfect sense, seeing as the original Flamethrower is probably already shooting near the fire rate cap, so the extra 64 times attack speed won't do very much. And neither will these low-level upgrades, which only give useless perks such as extra attack speed and popping power. So while you're watching me experiment with this tower, let me just say that it's looking like I'll only be showcasing 3 hypersonic modded towers for this video: the Elemental Tower, the Flamethrower and that Archer Tower you see in my loadout right now. I mention this cause 3 is a lot less than the 6 or so towers I covered in my original short hypersonic series, so I guess you could say these towers are more interesting to cover, so that's why it's taking so long. That or I've really improved my ability to drag things out. I mean, I did gain a lot of experience in the past year from dragging certain things, or people out of my basement frequently, so you can't rule the latter out of the question. Anyways, only once you get these mini sun god upgrades is when you notice a legit difference, cause I believe with this upgrade every flame eventually turns into a mini sun god for a brief moment. And what's really cool to see is they all spawn in a circular path that coincides with the range of the flame. I think all the sun gods receive the attack speed boost as well. Need I say more? The 4th tier upgrade only gives you 2 extra flamethrower projectiles, so it's probably not worth showing since you'll hardly notice a difference, but here it is anyway in case you wanted to see. I think we should really move on to the last portion of this hypersonic flamethrower, though, because I gotta say it looks quite interesting. So what this upgrade does is place some red plasma on the track that sucks in balloons and pops them. Think of it like a balloon chipper, except it's a temporary road item. And as with sentries and spikes, when you increase the production of these exponentially you get some pretty ridiculous results. I completely forgot that these plasma balls actually spit out the balloons while sending out these hyperclumped ceramics, so needless to say I deserve this lag storm that I'm currently ensuing. Thankfully it wasn't as bad as some other experiences. Anyways, I was surprised to see these plasma balls also sucked in MOABs. It's a bummer it can't affect DDTs or ZOMGs though. Okay, I think we've seen all the hypersonic flamethrower has to offer, so I'll finish this shit up with the hypersonic Archer Tower. By the way, if you want to see more of these hypersonic modded tower showcases, then just let me know in the comments. I certainly don't mind making them because not only are they the perfect video to work on when you're uploading but it doesn't show up at a scheduled time, cough cough, it's also got some real potential for some mad clickbait and ad revenue, kappa. Watch as I say that and the video ends up blowing up in my face. So unfortunately the Archer Tower suffers a very similar problem to the flamethrower when it comes to utilizing the stacking village effect to its maximum potential. Not only does it only shoot out a single projectile, none of its low-level upgrades are of any use in this scenario either. Extra popping power, not necessary. Extra attack speed, not necessary. Combo detection, not necessary because the village already grants it. With that being said, this means there isn't much really to showcase here. We'll have to skip all the way to the 4th tier left side in the double MOAB maulers to notice a real difference. And yeah, I guess you could say these super fast explosions look pretty cool. Much wow, very impressed. In all seriousness though, what a difference one upgrade makes at this level. You go from not even being able to take down a MOAB to very likely being able to handle infinite ZOMGs. I won't test that infinite part cause lag is my worst enemy, so let's just wrap this up with the final hypersonic upgrade, which is the Monkey Pirate Hooker. Except it's a cheap hooker and doesn't let you reel in MOABs. too thick for them, I suppose. At least we can find solace in the fact that it can at least deal with the strongest balloon in the game, not just one of them, but a never-ending stream of them. I for one would like to add these hyperclumped ceramics being sucked up as one of the most satisfying things to see in Bloons TD Battles. I can't explain exactly why, but it just looks cool. Anyways, time's up. Hope you enjoyed this quick video I made despite it being a little rushed. Hopefully it doesn't feel that way. Again, just drop a comment if you want to see more of this. Other than that, just stay tuned for more battles content such as make ROMs mod, custom maps and other things I have not done before. I'm not the kind of type that likes to recycle content. Have a speedy day.